Good afternoon. This is Betty Meredith, President of the International Retirement Resource Center, and I'm happy to be your session host today for Off with Your Rules of Thumbs by Michael Falk, CFA, CRC, a consultant and partner with the Focus Consulting Group in Chicago. Michael and I met in the late 1990s as together we worked on, and actually worked together to the mid-2000s, where we both served on the Plan Sponsor Council of America's Communication and Education Committee. I can attest that even then Michael didn't run with the crowd. I think his brain is wired differently than the rest of us, which is why he's become an annual presenter in this professional development webinar series, and why he travels to South Africa, Germany, and elsewhere in the world and the United States as an approved international speaker for the CFA Institute. Formerly, Michael was the CIO in charge of manager due diligence and asset allocation for a multi-billion-dollar advisory. His background includes extensive asset allocation research, portfolio development expertise, along with a multifaceted understanding of behavioral finance and retirement issues. His perspective acknowledges that the wisdom of crowds can degenerate into madness at times. Assets should be managed with the serenity to accept the market's realities, the courage to pursue its opportunities, and the ongoing pursuit of wisdom to understand the difference. Aside from his consulting work, Michael is a contributing member of the Financial Management Association's Practitioner Demand-Driven Academic Research Initiative, the Vice Chair of the Plan Council of America's Investment Committee. He also teaches for DePaul University in their Certified Financial Planner Certificate Program, and as well he's an adjunct faculty for the CFA Society of Chicago for their Claritas program. He is frequently published and quoted in the financial press, and he holds the Chartered Financial Analyst designation, and I'm also proud to say he is a certified retirement counselor. Today, Michael will push back on the wisdom of rules of thumbs that we use in the retirement industry that are widely accepted as conventional wisdom. Michael will present his thoughts for about 30 minutes, and then he and I will have a dialogue that digs deeper into concepts as well as receive questions from our audience. So, Michael, welcome today. We are glad you're back.
Thank you so much, Betty, and to all who are listening in, welcome, and thank you for joining our little dialogue today. And let us start with off with your thumbs. You know, in the retirement planning world, we have achieved over a number of decades rules of thumb that are benchmarks that should help us in our planning, for those we assist, for those of us that do ourselves. It's time in this day and age, as we should with all facts, is re-examine. Let's see what seems to be true, what maybe needs a little assistance. So that is the topic we're going to pursue today. The learning objectives is to reevaluate the wisdom of targeting an income replacement rate. Now, I don't mean that from the perspective of an individual, but the benchmark of 70 or 75% that you may have heard. The wisdom of using a 4% withdrawal rule as your primary income strategy. The wisdom of retiring to take advantage of outdated or artificial constructs, meaning retiring. Come on, you're more valuable than that. You've got capacity, you've got skills, you've got talents. Don't retire. Selecting asset allocation based on age. You know, much of the 401k, 403b world has been captured, if you will, by target date types of programs. We're going to talk a little bit about those. And then finally, the elephant in most retirement planning rooms, long-term care insurance. All that you may be afraid to ask, or at least pay for. In 2009, I coined the term, you should immunize before you even try to optimize. I've given you the shorthand here for the title. And when I say before you even try to optimize, is because optimization, the attempt to put together a portfolio of assets in the most perfect risk-return manner, is fiction. We're talking about the future, and the future is unknown. You can try to optimize, but the only guarantee of optimization is looking backwards. Too bad you missed it. Okay, so where do we start with? What are your monthly needs? Not wants, right? Do you have, think in terms of a mortgage, an electric bill, maybe a car payment, a certain amount of money spent on food? To give a couple examples, these are needs, not wants, right? We're comparing. Needs might be hamburger, not filet mignon. Apologies to the vegetarians on the call. You've heard this type of thing from me before if you've heard me speak. What is your guaranteed income? If you're receiving Social Security, what does that translate into? If you're married, what does the combination translate into? If you are one of the ever fortunate fewer, I say fewer because pensions have been disappearing. Don't know what the future holds, but it wouldn't be shocking to see a lot of benefit cuts down the road, not because people are evil, but simply because these wonderful plans are less affordable these days. So, what is your pension or Social Security income? How does that translate against your monthly needs? So if your monthly needs are $2,000 and your guaranteed income is $1,500, then your gap, point number 3, is $500. So of your saved assets, what are some of the better things that you might do with those in terms of investments or insurance products so that you can immunize that $500 need? Doesn't have to be an annuity, but annuity contracts can be very beneficial here. The residual assets, so if you've been a good saver and or you've got mostly a discretionary spending life, which means your monthly needs are very minimal, then you've got residual assets after you've covered that gap. Well, these residual assets, you can invest them so that you can have more spending on wants, not just needs. You know, that trip to Hawaii. They can be used to insure risks. Maybe we're talking about long-term care as an example. It can be used for bequests if you want to leave money behind for children, maybe a local library, something of that sort. Will we have libraries in the future? That's a question.